Oh, I guess I'm the one who's gonna start. Welcome to another episode of Formula One Fanatics. Are you with me, Afolabi?
Yes, I'm with you.
You know, the reason Afolabi is not talking is because he's so shocked at how well Max did. He can't even say a word
Absolutely,
right now.
absolutely.
Man, Max Verstappen put on another show, even though unfortunately history was not made. Can you imagine if he had won his first 24-hour to be like Lauda, to win a championship, to win a F1 championship, and he came very close, but the drive shaft or whatever it is went down. On this show today, what we're going to talk about is what highlighted how brilliant his performance was, and then we're also going to talk about what happened to these teams like Rowe and other ones, which were supposed to be very good. So let's jump straight into it. Max Verstappen had two awesome stints. The beginning of the race from P10 to P1, 20-second lead. It looked like he was driving downhill in mixed conditions, partly wet, changing conditions. It looked like he was driving downhill. And you know when you're going downhill on a ski, that's when you crash and lose control. What he demonstrated was that he has superior grip. He also has superior tire warming. But we also have to put a caveat there because Mercedes, you can bring whatever tires you want. Those Mercedes tires were made for mixed conditions and for wet conditions. But nevertheless, the type of grip that Max Verstappen showed at the start of the race was unbelievable. And the tire warming to build to a 20-second lead. Then the second stint, while a lot of us were asleep, 2 to 4 a.m., this guy keeps going. On his time off from F1, he's driving 24 hours. First time ever. He extended the lead from 20 to 27 seconds. And what he showed in both instances, the first stint early and the later stint, was an ability to react when there's traffic in front of you immediately, taking turns, taking passes on people in blind corners before the apex of corners. We've seen it before. We saw him do it in Brazil 2 years ago, where he came from I think it was P17 or something, back in the grid and won, and was passing people going on the corner blindly with apex. What Verstappen is showing you is that his name isn't Verstappen. His name is Spider-Man, because Spider-Man has extra ability for grip that other people just absolutely don't have. His passing was unbelievable. And this guy is a rookie in the sport. He's done a lot of sim, but to come out and do this, we have to start asking ourselves, it's not a question of is Max Verstappen the greatest F1 driver. The question is he the greatest natural driver and racer that has ever existed. Only one thing, and Johnny said it, you heard it from Johnny first. We said that this is a 24-hour race. This isn't a sprint. You're going to pay for pushing the car. And it looks like they paid for pushing the car, which is probably why they had that breakdown, because of the way Max and his teammates were pushing it. But nevertheless, this was fantastic. And for people who think that Max won't walk away, let me tell you, Max will walk away from F1 because he actually showed that he's just as passionate about GT3 as he is about F1. Lorado showed me a video where he blew out a Japanese guy who had the record for one lap. The guy did 144. After first lap, Verstappen did like a 146. That was just testing it. Second lap, he did 142 in the rain. I saw it. He was going all out in the rain. If I had tried that, you guys will be at my second year funeral. That's all I got to say. What are your thoughts, Afolabi?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, Verstappen drove. I mean, he didn't drive just like someone who had F1. We all know he's an elite F1 driver, but he showed his class by driving like a seasoned endurance driving veteran. I mean, look at them. I want to talk specifically about traffic management. He was able to gain time. He navigated slower, by setting up his overtakes well timed, preserved his
You mean
momentum.
slower cars? He never get his slower cars. Yeah,
Yeah, and he
around slower.
minimized his steering corrections very well. Also, night driving, very calm, despite visibility dropping significantly and the temperatures shifting. His driving it was like a machine, like you said at the beginning of the show, robotic, composed. His match qualifying pace was phenomenal and he preserved his tires well. And if you look at his grip too, his experience in sim racing background, helped him to seamlessly adjust to wet and dry transitions, confidently applying the throttle without any force and rotating the car well. And it was relentless from start to finish. Unfortunately, the drive shaft failed. Maybe in the future, with more nuanced approach, this would be corrected, but it was elite driving. Imagine an F1 champion driving endurance racing like an elite driver. It was a fantastic show. And it was his first 24 hours, by the way.
And he said that he's going to do this every year. So you know what that means? Because I was asking myself, what about if you conflict with the F1 schedule? Now, F1 will adjust. They'll accommodate him. That's it. They'll accommodate. This is Max Verstappen. This isn't
Oh, sure. He's
uh
dictating the terms now, basically.
yeah, this isn't Checo Perez. This is Max Verstappen. They'll accommodate. Oh, you guys, I
Yeah,
did a video on
you're
Montoya
coming for
telling me
Checo.
Verstappen. On our video, we got 6 people from Colombia who insulted us on our show last week because we were saying this shows that we're doing our job. All right, what are your thoughts, Mr. Johnny? Then we'll go to our fucking
Of
forgetting
course,
everybody's name. Lorato. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. What are your thoughts here?
yeah, of course, man. But, Max, very good performance, but I think Mercedes should probably take a look at. They might take a look at designing a drive shaft for Verstappen too as well. Maybe like a mixture of Formula One drive shaft and a mixture of GT drive
Yeah.
shaft. Come up with so because of course I think I'm not saying that's what happened, but I think the drive shaft kind of suffered under Verstappen's hand,
I get that.
because all the other drivers they're all GT drivers actually. He would have been the only one that kind of like got into that Formula One mode in
Yeah.
a way sometimes, and that probably the drive shaft is not strong enough to do it that way. I don't know. So,
Yeah,
but
okay, he was using the curves. GT3 drivers don't do that on a 24-hour race. He was using the curves to give him traction, and that's putting wear on that car. And he set up the car for a lot of frontiness like he likes. He was basically doing a sprint for 24 hours.
okay,
He was doing a
exactly.
sprint. He was doing a sprint for 24
Yeah,
hours. You know
yeah.
what? So when Verstappen does a 2-hour Formula One race, that's like just having a cup of tea. Have a cup of tea while you're at it. You get my point. 24. He was sprinting. Okay, let me not say 24 hours because he probably did 6 to 8 hours, but still, that's
Yeah,
crazy. What are you gonna
but
say,
yeah.
Josh?
So what they maybe they should just take a Formula One drive shaft, put it in a GT drive shaft, and that'll be comfortable
Yeah, they need
for
to
next time.
adapt.
They might do that next year.
Yeah, they need to adapt. What are your thoughts, Lorato?
Yeah. I think one of the things that sort of stand out is adaptability
Oh yeah,
that Max has. Like you know, we shy away from speaking about talent because his instinct comes a lot more from preparation. But I think um, instinctiveness and intuition have to do with something
oh
closer
yeah,
to
that guy.
talent. You
Yeah,
know, so his way. I mean, over one lap, he was already adapting. I think even in the qualifiers, it was the adaptability that he brought to the
yeah,
qualifiers that surprised everyone. Um, so that's the thing that sort of stands out for me in terms of just his driving style. But of course, like bringing this quote unquote relentless Formula One mentality to the race is what sort of cost them that right thing, the drive shaft. Um, and yeah, I think I mean from what I understand about how most of the endurance drivers sort of operate is that normally they coast um, in certain instances of the track because, like you're saying, you're driving downhill, so the car carries your momentum. But from what we're reading and from the data that shows his overnight like driving, he was really like driving aggressively, using the curbs to rotate the car, and all these kinds of like insane maneuvers. That I don't think the GT car was ready for. And of
yeah.
course,
They're
I
not
mean, yeah. And because of the car setup, the other drivers also had to adapt to that driving style, um,
ready.
and
Yeah,
they kept it pushing. And I think it's going to be great to see what it is that they can do in repeated races.
Oh yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think we have to wait long to see Max Verstappen win
It's
this
painful though.
24-hour race. Yeah.
If he had won that shit, let me tell you something. F1 would have been silenced. It's so painful. That would have been.
Or
What are you gonna say, Johnny? Yeah,
or
go ahead.
sabotage. Hmm.
Maybe. No, I don't think so. Maybe. I don't think so.
No, no.
Now you got me thinking. But this guy, let me
Somebody
tell
tell
you what he did
me.
at that might be I'm not look sabotage. We're living in a world of Donald Trump
Yeah,
pretending Donald Trump pretending like he's not happy that there's a siege on the world with oil. Same type of thing. We live amongst liars. But let me tell you something though. That 2 to 4 a.m. in dark, you're driving on this
Mm-hmm.
track. This track has killed people. It almost killed Lauder in the dark, in the
Yeah,
rain, with no vision, and you're pushing it. This guy is psycho. He's
for real,
psycho.
man.
Yeah, he's psycho. What are your thoughts, Falabi? Falabi is still awestruck. Falabi.
You're you're muted, Falab.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You can't rule out the
Yeah.
aggression of a world champion from F1. When he handles that GT machinery, you'd expect some aggression, but I don't think he overdrove. I think it was the cumulative effect of his aggressive driving, along with it was mechanical fatigue that affected the drive shaft, basically, and mechanical fatigue from the curbs, striking the curbs, load on the engine, the heat cycles night and day, cumulative torque fatigue over a very long stint, and of course the stress on the suspension geometry. I think it was a combined effect, and of course the max factor as well, that they might have
Mhm.
to reinforce some of his specifications, especially as it borders on suspension in the future, knowing fully well that Max is Max, he'll do his thing. But I think all in all, I mean, you wouldn't expect this kind of brilliant drive from someone that was, transiting from F1, except it was Max. It was a very good one,
Well,
regardless of the
this goes
failure
to show
of the drive shaft.
like, okay, I want to go into art. Okay. If you look at Michelangelo, you look at his sculpting, you say, this motherfucker, how did he sculpt this? Then you look at his painting, how did he paint this? Then you look at his poetry, how did he do his poetry? Because it doesn't matter, it's all art. So with Verstappen, he's the same, he's adaptable. It's just driving. If you put him in a Volkswagen Beetle, he'll do the same thing. So what Verstappen is showing is that he's a genius of the level of Michelangelo. But here's another thing that he has in common with Michelangelo and Picasso and Leonardo da Vinci. These guys were geniuses. But by the time Picasso was 10 years old, he had been drawing since he was 3 years old every day, 12 hours. So what you have with Max Verstappen is someone who has a preternatural gift for driving. He could probably be an air pilot too, or a motorcyclist. But on top of that, sim work. What are your thoughts, Lorato? Yeah.
Yeah. I think preparation heightens your level of intuition
Yeah.
uh, every
That guy
time.
has
But
super.
but I mean, you you can say that, but also see how someone performs who just prepared, um, and hasn't been having like the ages of experience.
Nah, yeah.
That
Like going back to
all
that
that.
video you showed, Max Verstappen could get on a motorcycle and the first 6 laps will be bad. So that's not preparation. That's just adaptability. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that is just pure adaptability, even in spite of how much people prepare and all those things. That is like this is where I think the talent lies, where like we can actually bring that word, um, in reference to him, in terms of his speed of adaptability. His feel in terms of how he handles a car and how he feels it out with. I mean, that GT car, that lap that he did in Suzuki, it
Oh yeah,
was amazing.
GT
It
500 or some crap.
was a GT 500. Yeah. So already, like, you could see in like the first lap that he was already adapting 2 seconds off, um,
Yeah.
and he finds an extra 4 seconds, even with like an aquaplaning moment that he has in like the last two turns or something. Um,
Yeah.
Like,
he's a human sensory machine. I'm
yeah,
serious.
yeah, yeah. So the meticulousness that comes from preparation and his natural sort of aptness in terms of how to handle and how to control a car really sort of comes to the fore whenever he gets into any car or
Yeah.
any kind
And
of
did you
series
see
of.
when they were showing off, he was like, okay, I think I'll try my best. You could tell this guy has no ego when it comes to racing. He has a temper and he's rude, but when it comes to racing, he has no ego. That's what it is. Remember how self-deprecating he was? He was like, okay, I'll give it a try. Let's see what I could do. You
Sure,
get my
sure,
point.
sure.
But also he's not humble either. He's just like, let's wait and see. That's how the Dutch people are. A Dutch person will be like, okay, let's just wait and see. Remember when they asked him, what are your chances of winning? I win or I lose, 50-50. That personality. Yeah, that was crazy. We have to. I'll
Yeah.
send you the video, Falaba. You won't believe this shit, man.
Okay.
And he, quickly, like in 30 seconds. Any last thoughts, Lorato, before we go to Johnny and get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, man, I'm really excited at seeing what like more we can see
Oh yeah,
from Max in terms of him racing all these other different kind of racing series that
yeah.
are out there. I think he would be great to check out in rally if he ever did a rally race, which I think he'd relish if he ever got the chance to do.
Oh, you won't
Um,
believe this, Lorato. This is what scares
yeah.
me. His dad does rally, and you know what his dad said? He said, "I told Max to do rally." Do you know what he said? Max said, "No
Mm.
way, it's too dangerous." When Max says that Max is afraid of rally, that he's showing respect. No, he said it's too dangerous. I'm not lying. I'll show you the quote. He said he's been trying to get Max, and Max said he won't even try it because it's too
Mm.
dangerous.
For
You know what that
him.
means? I think it means that Max likes driving to the limit, and if you drive to the limit on a rally, you can end up
Yeah.
going off the cliff. The cliff.
Yep.
No, Max. It's funny when Max is afraid of something. That's the first time, and he said it's too dangerous.
I'm
That's
sure
crazy.
he
Last
tried it
time.
Mm.
once. He almost killed himself.
Oh yeah, no. So it's funny that Max is a psycho, but he's afraid of rally. But I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie to you,
that's
rally is crazy. You know
maybe
why? Because rally, you're going up and down, suspension, you're
all
on
types
dirt
of stuff.
roads. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're like, you know what it is? I think Max is a linear driver. He only likes vertical and horizontal. He doesn't like that up and down. You get my point?
Yeah.
He's a linear. That's why he likes pointy cars. So I think that type of driving for him, it goes beyond his skill set. Maybe that's all I can do. What do you think, Lorato? Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think he would adapt pretty
Oh
quickly.
yeah. His dad will
Just
force him.
taking
Remember, his
from.
dad used to beat him when he was young. Motherfucker, you going?
Yeah,
I'm dad.
no,
You going?
no,
You rap.
I think he'd learn to adapt to it. And I think something like that actually would help him with this endurance racing.
Oh yeah, because
In
you have to
terms
be
of
tough.
yeah, yeah, he'll pick up a lot of sort of tidbits in terms of how to feel better in terms of the car, because it's just like that marginal thing um, of being able to feel through the car so that you preserve it at the same time as you are pushing it to a limit.
He could do it, but I think that would be his biggest challenge. Here's what I mean. You know that him, his dad, and Alonso are planning next year to do the Le Mans 24. That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Alonso with Verstappen. But to end this, we'll go to Johnny. Like you said, Lorato, this motherfucker is making us excited about other classes of driving, which we would never do before. That's all I have to say about Max Verstappen. He's actually awakened more races and more, so that now when there's off seasons and stuff, we have stuff to watch. What are your thoughts, Johnny? Then we'll end with a follow. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. Dude is a drive machine, man. I think he was probably conceived in a moving car.
Yeah. Well, both of his parents, his mother was a stock car driver. She was a kart driver, and his dad drove a Schumacher. So he has the genetics. Go ahead. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's in the blood, it's in the DNA and everything. When guys are phenomenal. And he'll be back, I'm sure he'll be back next year to really show us. Okay, this was just like
Right.
learning on like okay, first step. And he'll be back
And
and then to go to
and next week he's going to be in Canada. This is
Canada,
crazy.
there we go. Yeah. And he's
Everybody
all
else,
one
Lewis Hamilton's hanging out with Kardashian. Alonso Norris is playing golf.
Gaddafi would have softened his muscles with that while Verstappen has bumped up for next week.
All right.
So
Yeah. What were you going to say? Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, she softened him up a little bit for the race.
yeah.
Suspension. She released the tension and the suspension.
All the mojo is gone.
Yeah. All right. Last thoughts of Falabi. Last technical thoughts of Falabi. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what I feel is that Max was able to bring the very best out of the AMG machinery. Basically, I mean, he was aggressive on his entry. He was confident when braking, and then the early throttle application also helped him. And I think as despite the fact that the AMG was a very strong package, the platform was superb, outfoxing the BMW, who was the fans' favorite. Max driving style too was able to accentuate the machinery.
Sorry, Falabi, very quickly. Max sandbagged, Mercedes sandbagged in the qualifiers because they add weight to make whatever your true pace is, they add weight so that all the cars have the same
I
weight.
believe they did.
BMW went too fast in the qualifiers. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I believe they did. And so that was a very good strategy also. But all in all, I think it was his ability that accentuated the AMG machinery and made it a very momentous debut in the 24 hours Ravenel Nurburgring. Basically, that's it.
You guys, this is our best show, man. We're pretending like we know about GT3, and it sounds like we're. All right, so Lorato, if you're around, we're doing Canadian Grand Prix on Tuesday predictions. Yeah, but we'll find out. We'll look at our schedules.
All right, cool. We'll check that out.
You can take us out of Falabi.
It's been another
George Russell would like the Canadian Grand Prix because it has absolutely no corners, so he's not going to get his ass whooped in traction zones by Kimi Antonelli. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, it's been another brilliant show. We've been discussing the Max Verstappen's performance at the Ravenel Nurburgring, and from Mustafa, from Johnny, Lerato, and myself. We'll be back again.
3 weeks ago, I didn't even know the word Nurburgring, man. Now we're talking about it like we've known it for years. All right, you guys, nice.
Well, you didn't know about the Nurburgring? Come on, man.
I knew about it. Yeah, I knew it. Yeah. Wait, I can't wait till Max's next GT3, which will be a shorter race too. All right, so good one, guys. So Johnny, I'll see you on Tuesday. Okay, all right.
Cool.